It was like obviously like a leftover cake that someone ordered and didn't like pick up. Sorry.
Yeah, no, this is good. Yeah, this is
That's
good.
a
This is
good
good.
opening.
Yeah.
Good cold opening.
It's always good to have water when you're talking.
What?
And
What happened?
ain't afraid of my mouth, I ain't afraid of yours.
You were just sick.
What?
I am afraid of your mouth.
Yeah.
Just kind of walked into that conversation. That was very interesting.
Very different conversation.
The point is, I'm very afraid of Trey's mouth.
That's the point.
Most are. Anyways, welcome to the Signal Soundbytes. I'm Brandon Peña, managing editor of the Signal, and with me today are
Lindsay.
Crystal.
Hi, I'm Trey. I keep it safe in my living room, but I bury my money in the woods where no one will find it.
Were you supposed to give a little...
I certainly do.
And I'm Leif. Yeah.
If you haven't noticed, Trey's back.
Streets back, alright.
Hi, everybody. I noticed the listeners went down when I left, and hopefully they come back up.
I think that's alternative facts, but
That's how I interpreted it.
We'll definitely look into that. Speaking of alternative facts and fake news, it's been over 100 days, guys, since President Trump has taken office, and there have been lots of reactions from this, and there's been a lot of things that he's done, including 30 executive orders, 27 presidential memorandas, 21 proclamations, which in total comes out to like 78 executive actions. What are your thoughts on President Trump's first 100 days?
So I have a question. You said 78 executive orders?
78 executive actions.
Is that higher than normal?
Well, according to my research,
Oh, good, you did your homework.
I did do my homework. I just gotta find the page where it has it. Well, basically, based on the executive orders alone, he has issued within his first 100 days 30 executive orders.
Mm-hmm.
In comparison, that's Obama did 19 in his first 100 days.
Mm-hmm.
President Clinton did 13, and President George W. Bush did 11. So he has issued a lot of executive orders that have reversed Obama-era regulations and efforts to protect the environment.
Right.
So yeah, he's
Okay.
done quite a
He's
bit.
really busy.
So for the 100-day mark, it is above average.
To offer some juxtaposition to that, this is the intro to a New York Times article about the first 100 days. I thought it was kind of interesting. I figured I'd just read it instead of try to paraphrase it. But
Right.
Owners of ancient water vessels are likely to be quite pleased with the Senate, which voted overwhelmingly this month to generally exempt them from fire retardant materials requirement. But that is about the extent of the bipartisan legislation to emerge from Congress during the first 100 days of unified Republican governance.
Interesting.
So that's about all they've got done, really. I mean, those executive orders, as you can see, can just be reversed as soon as the next president comes in. So
You know, they've got the Supreme Court now, right? I mean, Republicans. I don't adhere to a particular political party, but I always find it interesting to see how they operate. Republicans have the House majority. They have the executive branch, they have the legislative branch, and they have the judicial branch, and they have the president. And it's been kind of hard to get things through. Like they had to do an emergency budget last week just to keep the government from shutting down until Friday. I was under the impression that controlling everything meant that things went smoother.
But more interesting, he has also signed in 29 laws in his first 100 days. In comparison, President Clinton did 22 in his first 100 days, and President Obama, who just preceded President Trump, he did 14. So there's some interesting facts for you guys.
Well, I mean, okay, so we don't own businesses, right? None of us here own our own
No,
business.
not yet.
Necessarily, okay. And
But we do mind our own business.
did we all? No,
For the most part.
do we? I mean, we all voted in the
You
last
journalists.
election, right? We all voted. We all voted.
Yes.
I voted. Did you
I
vote?
voted.
You
I
voted.
totally voted.
I feel like out of all of us, the person who probably wouldn't vote is Crystal. So did you vote?
I voted.
Okay, just
I
checking.
have my little voter's registration here. here.
Good.
Cool.
I broke my foot and I still voted.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah, I actually
He
slept
screwed
in
it
and
away.
decided not to. So,
What?
I mean, I'm just
So we're blaming you
apparently
for our current
yes,
situation.
because Texas absolutely would have gone blue
Yes.
Without Trey.
if only for me.
Well,
It
I
was
thinking
your
Jill Stein.
deciding
You were the one that kept Jill Stein.
Well, the listeners
Oh,
went
yeah.
down last week when you weren't here.
Right? Yeah, people
This is
listen.
an opinion leader.
I'm important. No. But my question is, I mean, a lot of these laws have to do with regulations. A lot of these laws have to do with businesses. A lot of these tax breaks have to do with businesses. How have the first 100 days affected us? I mean, we're students. We make almost nothing. We live in closets with our pets. I mean, we're kind of
Some people are out of the closet.
Yeah, so
okay. But the size of the ship.
I
behind
left the closet
wave.
a long time ago. I now
I'm
have
now in the living room.
I
Okay.
I've got a
I
futon,
have
thank you,
a nice room
and fresh Taco Bell on the floor.
and a wonderful bed.
I only make mac and cheese 4 times a week now. But no, how has it affected you? Like, how has it affected us personally? Like,
It's certainly given me a lot to work with in terms of story ideas.
well, yeah, no. As far as like creative material, it's a
Creative
gold
material,
mine.
it
Oh
is.
my god, it's fantastic. But real world stuff, real world. But like, has it had a major impact on your life?
Well, one thing I notice is a lot of people are saying, well, not people I really hang out with, I guess some people I know, people who have jobs, 401ks,
Mm-hmm.
they're seeing their 401k increase in value. And that's not really a result of anything Trump's actually doing, maybe just talking. And
Do you think it's because businesses are more confident?
the stock market is up right now. It's at a 5-year high. It jumped after the announcement of Trump, and it's kind of been going up ever since. And so, like, where that leads, where that ends, you know, is it going to crash? Is it going to stay up? That's the question. So I think 100 days is a little premature because, and to put this into perspective, the Dow Jones was going up and has been going up since May 2012. So.
Okay. So
It's been steadily rising, and then there was just another jump. So it's been going up.
interesting. And then go ahead.
I feel like with Trump being president, a lot more people are starting to want to get informed about politics. It's not just like this Facebook rant from people. It's now sharing articles and having a discussion online. I guess that's good that it has come from Trump, that more people want to know what exactly he's doing and what are going to be the effects of what he's doing or not doing.
According to this, which is from the Business Insider, when Trump first entered office on day 1, he had a 45% approval rating, and at day 100, he had a 42% approval rating, which is significantly down from recent presidents such as President Obama, Bush, Clinton. So what does that say? And if he's doing relatively decent enough to get the stock market up and get some kind of movement going in terms of more involvement in politics, his approval rating is still down. Does that signal anything?
I think it might. I mean, this is purely just my opinion, but it probably has to do with his excessive tweeting. It's like people may actually agree with some of the stuff that he does, but not how he says he's going to do it, or you know how he portrays it online. He also has averaged like 5 tweets a day in the first 100 days of his presidency, which is.
That's impressive.
I was listening to what's his name? He was the headliner at the White House press correspondence dinner.
Oh yeah.
But he was saying how
Minaj?
yeah,
The Daily Show. Yeah.
So he was saying that like Trump doesn't drink, which is kind of funny. I didn't realize that he's sober, but then he's sober when he says all these things. He was sober when he was talking to Billy Bush. He was sober when he's tweeting at 3 a.m. Like, who else is tweeting at 3 a.m. sober?
Exactly.
I mean,
Oh, that was a funny.
I do sometimes, but I'm also not a real estate mogul, so
Yeah.
I have my reasons.
And you
And
do
or President
vape
of
a
the
very
United
high nicotine
I
content.
do. I
So,
consume a lot of
You're
nicotine and caffeine.
Not sober. You're
No,
on nicotine and caffeine.
I'm almost always
You're
buzzing on
jacked up.
something. Yeah. No, I'm pretty.
Yeah. You buzzing.
Yeah.
Well, also in terms of his approval ratings, we did a poll recently on the Signal asking our audience what their reaction is to Trump's first 100 days, and we asked them to use a little fun emojis that Facebook loves to now do.
Angry reacts only.
And we have about 75% that use the angry emoji, and we have 25% that use the love emoji. So
There's
you
no
kinda-
thumbs up or
you
wow.
can-
How
no,
many
there's none of those.
comments were there?
There were 2 comments, and they were actually both from 2 sides of it. So we had Carla, who said, Trump is a jackhole, but Pence is scary, so there's that.
It's true.
And then Adam says, makes me excited for the next 100. So you have 2 different views, 2 comments, 2 students who are clearly on different sides of the political spectrum.
I mean, I think we can all agree that Pence is scary. He's our
That's his wife,
modern.
mother.
Yeah. No, he's today's Dick Cheney with the added benefit of unnecessary subtones.
See, my thing about Mike Pence is, in I may be showing, my leanings here, but he always looks like he's trying to hold in a fart. Or he just farted and he's smelling it.
Oh, the smug Pence.
I'm working on like a photo collage to
He's always got
Prove my
that.
point.
He's got the squinty eyes and he
Watch
smiles and he
it.
just
And
looks
it's
above everyone. He
he's gazing off into the distance, he's squinting, he's holding it in, and then he just did it.
It's
Did they
the
smell it?
same.
Did they smell it?
Yeah, it's the same look of satisfaction when like you wake up in the morning and it's like not too hot, not too cold, and you have your cup of coffee and the steam's coming off and you're just like, life is good. But with farts coming out from under your incredibly
I
expensive
didn't mean to
suit.
take it there, but
No, it's there. I mean, now that I can't unsee it, that's for sure.
just look
Yeah.
next time.
No, I think on the subject of polling, I think it's interesting that, I mean, the entire election, we thought that Trump was going to lose because of polling.
Yep.
Can we really be sure that he has a 44% approval rating?
I will
Like,
say that
Can.
if you look at the public policy polls from February 2016, about a year ago,
have we improved?
they were showing Hillary versus Trump. It was neck and neck, and I mean it ended up being neck and neck. So there were polls that were predicting it, but people weren't paying attention to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Have we improved? Have we gotten better? Because that was one of the big things. There was a lot of confidence that. I mean, I was rewatching South Park recently, right? And it was episodes from fall 2015. And there's this episode all about like Mr. Garrison. There's a wall against Canada, and Canada elected essentially Canadian Donald Trump. And everyone's like, I can't believe we actually let this happen. We thought it was just a joke. We thought, okay, time to get serious about the election now. That was 2015 that we were joking about time to get serious.
Mayor Ford, right? That was who they were making fun of.
No, it was straight Trump.
That Trump was on the radar then.
Yeah, Ford's a whole different
Rest in peace.
handbasket. Okay, so here's a question, right? So someone got elected by saying most outlandish things that relate to the common person who's just like, this is ridiculous, I love it, because life is ridiculous and I love it. Do you think in 4 years someone could do this again?
I think at this point it's proven that anybody can win.
Well, no, not just, I'm not saying like, can anybody win? I'm saying, can someone say outrageous and salacious things and we just have a pure mudslinging festival between 2 relatively terrible people just insulting each other and talking about genitalia on live television? Can we have that, or will we just be like, we've seen this before?
I don't think the Democratic Party would allow someone into the fray like that.
I don't know.
I think they have too much control over it right now, especially with the superdelegates.
America tends to get kind of bored of the same thing after a while, and we like to mix it up. What's the next stage once you've, literally elected a cartoon character? I think it will be a snack machine.
Snack machine.
Snack machine. I think it'll literally be a
Continue.
vending machine. I think that we will have, in the next 4 years, we will have put AI into a snack machine, and it'll be able to figure out what you tend to buy, and it'll have a good idea of what you're going to get next time. It'll be like, hey, the Cheetos, 10 cents cheaper today. I think that snack machine will run for president.
So you want an AI president?
That gives out snacks.
I want
Okay.
a snack machine. Snack machine first, AI second.
That sounds like such like a kindergarten like response. Like, who do you want to be president?
Did
I want a
you
snack
watch
machine.
the last election? Donald Trump was in the Little Rascals when I was in kindergarten. Like, he is the kindergarten electric. Like,
Yeah.
he's
Mhm.
Oh, what a great
He's
100
also
days it's
in
been.
Home Alone too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
But I think one of actually the most shocking and biggest things to come out of his first 100 days is that his golf outings. He has golfed 19 times in his first 100 days, as opposed to President Clinton, who did 7 golf outings. President Obama, who was a very avid golfer, he only golfed once in his first 100 days. And Bush didn't golf at all because he had other things to do or just wasn't good at golf.
Now, I will say this. Bush did golf, especially in the weeks prior to 9/11 happening. He was golfing pretty avidly after he got over his first summer. I remember, because we were all pissed about that. And then 9/11 happened and we were like, and you've been golfing!
Well, President Trump did come out and say, like, in response to people calling him out, going golfing a lot, saying that his golf trips are also business policy trips.
Yeah.
So even though
I
he
mean,
shouldn't be his
yeah.
business.
A lot of business happens on the golf course,
Yeah.
but, you know, there's also an entire White House that you
To
could do
do
business
business.
in.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think this would be the special talent section of the competition.
What if the next election was ran like a beauty pageant with special talents?
I say we kick it up a notch.
And they have to
Donald
answer
Trump
questions.
runs him.
Keep it one by one.
I want the next election to be Running Man. Running Man? Anyone remember that movie?
No.
Oh, it's a good one. Think Hunger Games, but with adults. Running Man. That's how we should do our next election. Total elimination challenge.
Yeah, just fight to the death.
Yeah.
Whoever wins is worthy.
That's what we do at the Signal.
Yeah.
When it comes to stories, we
Yeah.
fight to the death.
Monday mornings, weapons on the table.
We thought we lost Trey for a while, but I think we revived him.
He came back to life.
We have
Where's Jeremy
officially.
though?
Jeremy has been gone for a while.
I will say this: we should have recognized not using chemical warfare, biological warfare a lot sooner. Because I was out for 3 weeks.
So back on track here.
Yes.
Thank you.
First 100 days, things I think are interesting. We did bomb Syria. Steve Bannon got kicked out. We lost Mike Flynn. We lost some other people, maybe. I don't know.
Healthcare didn't go through.
Healthcare didn't go through.
Healthcare's still here. How about that?
What else? Oh, Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly got unseated, no longer on TV, and Alex Jones can't decide where his kids get to live. So, personally, my opinion here, I think the first 100 days in that regard, Bill O'Reilly, Alex Jones, they went great for me.
Yeah.
The bombings in Syria, not so great.
Well, the bombings were just that one airfield, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and all of that can be repaired literally in a weekend.
Yeah.
So
And
the
those-
bombing, it was more symbolic, I think.
Yeah.
'cause
But there
then-
are still bombings
Yeah.
going on in
Oh yeah,
Syria
no, we're constantly
on
bombing everywhere.
ISIS targets, other rebel targets.
And then the big issues were immigration. He tried to ban immigration,
Yeah,
and
not so
that's been
good.
blocked twice now. Sanctuary cities, he was trying to get those shut down, and there's now been an injunction against that. Cities are suing him to stop that from happening. That's
Today, May 1st, International Workers' Day, I saw earlier there were people in either the governor's office or some state office in Austin, and there were about 200 people sitting in the office doing a sit-in, refusing all state workers to go inside. They weren't allowing anybody inside. They were saying they had food, they had music, and they were going to have a party there, and they were going to be there all day, and business was not going to occur as usual.
Interesting.
And so that I think that may still be going on. As last I checked, it was about an hour ago. It's 2:30 now on Monday, May 1st. So
Not bad.
yeah.
No, I think a lot of the scary things that he promised he would do in the first 100 days, and even some of the smaller things like saying that China rigs its currency and does a lot of unnecessary and illegal inflation to devalues its currency and make itself seem more valuable. Stuff like that, he just went completely back on. I mean, he's like, let's bomb North Korea, and all of a sudden it's like, well, diplomacy though. I think
he talked to Xi Jinping. Leader of China. They're talking about currency and ending the manipulation. So I mean, in that regard, it was a good meeting.
Yeah.
And from it seemed like so maybe there's something there.
I don't know.
I was interested in that because he had such heated rhetoric against China. And then he's just buddy with them, like, oh no, I never said that. Let's work together. But I think that maybe we should be working together with people. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's interesting to see the fiery warrior turn into a diplomat in 100 days. I think that, more than anything, is my biggest takeaway.
And I think that's part of the problem is with what's going on is because you have the Freedom Caucus and they want him to be that fiery warrior. Right. You have the radical, I call them radical right in Congress, the Tea Party right, the Libertarian right, and they want all these extreme things to happen. And then you have the policy wonks, the mainstream, the neocons, and they want business as usual. They want to protect themselves and their interests, and they don't necessarily want to drain the swamp.
Right.
So yeah, exactly. Yeah. They want to get reelected. And so there's this internal struggle that's starting to come to the top that we're witnessing, that they can't make ends meet. They can't make amends. They can't come together.
It's very interesting.
So
I'm interested to see where the next 100 days go. Also, why do we track 100 days?
Well, I have. What you can?
Well, from what I understand, it's an arbitrary thing. But Trump made a lot of promises himself in the campaign, and he said, in my first 100 days I will do this. In the first 100 days I want to do that.
Classically.
Well, the reason why we focus on the first 100 days is based on what the Business Insider was able to provide us. It says Franklin D. Roosevelt, basically he had a bunch of things going on in the first 100 days. He had like the Great Depression and different laws and executive orders, and the economy with the New Deal. So because he did so much in the first 100 days, that's become a trend. So now we just focus on the first 100 days to see progress.
Because historically the United States was in one of the worst situations possibly imaginable, we now judge all presidents based off of what they do in an arbitrary amount of time based on the worst moment in our history?
Pretty much.
That seems ridiculous.
That was during the birth of, radio journalism.
That's like if your house floods in April, and now every April you're like, all right, time to do inventory on everything I own. Let's see if I'm living right.
That's called hurricane season.
Yeah, it's called prepping.
Yeah.
So we just prep every 4 years for 100 days, and we see how well we prep.
You gotta prep.
That's insanely paranoid. That's incredibly odd and paranoid.
We knew it was gonna die in the apocalypse.
Ooh, did we ever find out why people are so obsessed with World War III and seem to be looking forward to the inevitable nuclear heat death of the planet?
I didn't know.
I didn't know we were researching that, but that's something to look into for next time.
I'll have to do that. Apparently young people are obsessed with World War III. Coming soon to you, I'll find out.
I don't think it's like people want it. I think people fear it.
No, people want it.
Okay.
It's weird.
All right.
Yeah. Well, we can bring that up.
Next time.
All right. So moving off from Trump. Oh, wait, real quick. What emoji would you guys give Trump's first 100 days if you were to take that poll? I would say I would do the wow one. The Facebook wow is like wow.
I think the wow would be closest. Of the options given, if I could do just any emoji, I would maybe do the eye roll or the face palm emoji.
Yeah.
The poop.
Or the poop. Yeah.
I'm angry reacts slowly over here. That's tried and true.
I like the side eyes one, the ones with maybe a little shaking of the head.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna do a GIF image of a sneezing baby panda waking up its mother panda.
And Trey's back. So moving on. Just recently, like really recently, the UHCL, University of Houston Floyd, released its brand new website. It just put it out there, and
Oh,
it has
put it out there, guys.
there is now a whole new design. It looks very modern now, and it's no longer this really awkward looking yellow color, which isn't our color at all. So, what are your thoughts about this?
I thought it looked pretty professional.
I like it.
I like the.
it's really easy to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a very, very basic website design. Like
Basic.
But it's nice. I think like the
Yeah.
font is even bigger. They took out all the extra wording. Like on e-services page, there's like this whole paragraph before you could sign in. Now it's just like one little paragraph, and it's like big and type in your ID.
It does have a cleaner, modern feel, but I don't think it's any better organized. I think might be on my computer or the computers I look at. Some of the pictures aren't the best quality. Some of them are really clear. Some of them I personally wouldn't choose to use for.
Yeah, I feel
It's
like
not
some
loading
parts
right
of it
now,
were.
but-
It's not loading. I feel like some parts of it were definitely rushed.
Yes,
Yeah.
because there are, and even when you go to it now, it says it's new. There's probably broken links,
Yeah.
but I mean,
When you first
probably is like definitely there's broken links everywhere.
Yeah, when you first land on the page, it says you've landed on the brand new UHCL website. Yes, you may find broken links and similar issues, but please be aware that the web team is addressing them directly. Give us your thoughts on the site via the website feedback form. So, if you're a prospective student looking at different universities and you happen upon the University of Houston Clear Lake page and you see that as like your opener, does that concern you that it's like, oh, you just kind of rushed that?
I mean, it's an
It might-
inch thick.
It might not be the best look to,
But it
students.
also like signifies
Is that-
change.
Is that not an attractive banner to signal that?
It's a really
rushed a website?
big red
But at least
banner.
they have a warning to let you know too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a
It's-
liability thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I would kind of look at it as more of a positive thing if I was a new potential student. Like, oh, look, they're changing, they're updating. A lot of schools keep the same and don't ever change.
Curious,
But
our copyright at the bottom is still 2016.
I wouldn't put, as a university, I wouldn't put out something unless it was,
Ready?
yeah.
Well, that's the industry standard for video games right now. Like, release it, and then we'll sell you the fixed version of it later.
So, spring 2018, guys. DLC pack for UHCL's website. We'll finally have it.
It's gonna be worked into your tuition there.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Another
Microsoft
thing with the
points.
website is there's still like it doesn't match all the way. When you go to like the UHCL webmail, it still has the old theme with the yellow.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little disconnect there too.
Yeah.
And it just seems weird to change it in April.
At this moment, yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
Why not the beginning or,
Or
during
in the
the
middle
summer?
of summer.
Yeah.
During a break. People.
I wish. I wish you could see that stare.
Yeah, that was a really intense stare at the
Staring through the
microphone.
microphone.
Talking to you, audience.
But some of the things that people have complained about are like the broken links, the events calendar,
Oh, yeah,
photos, functionality, missing content, some of the program pages, and some things were just not functioning correctly. But the web communications here at the University of Houston Clear Lake, they sent out an email earlier today addressing the UHCL faculty and staff, saying thank you for all your constructive feedback on the new UHCL website. Many great suggestions have been submitted, as well as words of praise and concern from faculty, staff, students, alumni, and community friends. We want to let you know that we are prioritizing concerns and addressing them. The concerns fall into various categories, and these are the steps being taken. And so they have all these different suggestions and things that they're going to begin working on. So they're aware of the things that aren't working. And
I like their campus map that's completely lacking an internal map of the buildings, because the Bayou building is just a blue rectangle that you cannot enter. The more you zoom in, it's just
That's
still
interesting.
blue. So good map, guys. Thanks.
That was one of the hard things about it because I needed to find a room and I didn't have the map, and I knew the old site had the maps that were very detailed, and I went to go click on it and it was missing.
Yeah, like some kid today asked me where was the admissions, and I had.
I tried to find a professor, and like this is before they announced that they changed the website. By the way, I didn't get an email. Did anyone get an email that they changed it?
I think I did.
I remember
Yeah.
them one announcement saying they were gonna change it.
Mm.
One announcement.
It was like gonna launch or something.
Yeah. So I was trying to find a professor, and they didn't. The old link was still available on Google, but when I clicked it, UHCL was like, I don't know what you're trying to find here, man. It's just not.
Yeah, I was doing research and relying on a certain link within there, and then once the new website went live, that link was broken.
For anybody out there needing to get to links that they can't find, there is archive.org,
Yeah.
the Wayback Machine. You
Oh,
can look at a snapshot of cached version of the old website if you absolutely need something.
No, that's what I ended up
Putting it
having
out
to
there,
do,
yeah.
just to get an email address for a professor. But yeah, no, it's a work in progress, a lot like the school itself. You know, we just got our new mascot. We're still working on getting a sports team. We've got our cheerleaders. God knows we've got our
Spirit
cheerleaders.
Squad.
Spirit Squad.
How funny! How are they going to
And
cheer on our
recycling
first
now.
esports?
Yeah. Update on the bottle recycling. There are now bottles around the
Yes.
bottles.
Hey, we did it.
Which
We think we might have done it. Maybe.
I think we
Yeah.
It could have been
It
like
might
the
have
website. It just happened and coincided with some other stuff.
Maybe a presidential
Yeah.
candidate said we're.
President was like,
Where do I put this bottle?
where do I recycle this? Oh, yeah. Let me
Go up to the second floor.
on the third floor. There's just like this open space in this projected building. I don't know what's going to be going on there. If that's just like a
The
balcony,
new smokers patio?
that would be nice.
Hey.
Second floor.
It might just be unused, or it's where we will store all of the old UHCL mascot stuff, all the blocks.
Oh.
Fun fact: our mascot used to be a cube wearing sunglasses.
called Block.
Blocky.
Blacky's Bay.
No, I'm happy where we are.
Yeah,
This is a place.
Love that modern aesthetic. It's 112 years old now, but love it. Yeah, good job. Good job. No, I like the new website. It's all right. It's getting there.
If you were to give
It's
it,
better.
if you were to give it a grade, what would you give it?
Like a C.
Yeah,
Like a C?
I'd give it a C because it's a good thought, but
Mhm.
it's just not quite finished.
Pretty broken and pretty basic.
I'll give it an I for incomplete.
Yeah.
It's
That's-
2 weeks to
That's
finish its
harsh.
version.
Meet me at the end of the semester. We're gonna figure out how you're gonna fix this.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
We're getting an
Dang.
extension. The last day of grades is the 8th, right? That's the
Yeah,
last
yeah,
day
that's
to
the
get
last
grades in, so.
Yeah. Although apparently some
It's
people,
ticking.
I don't know, some people are like, yeah, by the 10th, and I'm like, really?
Okay, the 10th.
You already know what grade I have.
Failed.
Graduate school is awesome. Halfway through the semester, they know who's passing.
Aw.
Well, you need to get a B or higher in that class just to be able to get the credit for it. So like, they can tell like, oh yeah, no, you're not getting the credit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. Yeah, see, it's Squarespace everywhere. This is a really, really basic setup. Like, I understand what they were doing, but
Moving on. Have you guys been able to keep up with the UHCL presidential search going on? You have
No.
4 finalists: Frank Lamas, Cheryl Lovell, Ira Blake, and Lawrence Dreyfus. So they are the 4 candidates that are going to potentially, one of them's going to be our new president of UHCL.
question,
Mm-hmm.
what does the president do for me, the student? I know they do a lot, but I mean, come on, everyone does a lot. That's a relative statement. What do they do? What does a school president do? Informed electorate! Love it!
Now, see, I saw some video of Dr. Blake. I didn't realize there were 3 other people. I thought she was just like the candidate.
When I showed up.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know. And they were like, how do you like her? And I was like, I like her. Ira Blake.
Yeah, I saw her. She was,
So-
I liked her.
Judging by only knowing about her and only having an informed opinion about her, I like Ira Blake.
I think
she'll do a good job.
I like Frank Lamas. I looked at all of their.
Okay, that's his name. All right.
What is it?
Llamas.
Right.
Well, it's llamas. It's pronounced
Llamas.
llamas, but
Is he gonna spit it?
it's.
Sorry.
Okay,
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
Did I
I'm sorry.
mispronounce that?
That would be new. That's. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
Wait, did we get a vote, or are we just watching this unfold?
We
I
had
think-
the opportunity to give our feedback when they did their open forums and also through a survey, which are now closed.
Oh,
But
great!
the
Yeah,
final
thanks for
decision-
doing all that finals week.
The final decision is made by the Chancellor of the University of Houston system.
Why did they do all this during finals?
Hmm?
Why did they do all of this during finals?
28th,
the worst
March
times.
28th, April 11th, April 4th, April
Mhm.
25th.
So it was all the month of April that they
I got 2 words
these.
for you. Spring break.
But wait, real quick, go back, Chris.
Yeah, so tell us
Tell
more
us
about
what-
why.
Yeah, I like him. I read through all of their resumes that they have online, and he seems to have done a lot of stuff that really supports the students. Like in 2015, he created a violence prevention and victim assistance program for student victims and survivors. He created a sexual assault response team, and he renovated and remodeled financial aid office to better serve the students at the college that he was working at.
Interesting.
And that seems promising. If he wants to keep doing that stuff here, yeah.
We could
Care about me.
We definitely need someone who's not afraid to fix a few leaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going back to, that whole awkward silence, does that say something about either us as students or them as the president and higher ups that there is this kind of disconnect of not knowing exactly what the president does?
Yeah, the school kind of, for lack of a better word, sucks at filling us in on what's going on. And it's not just the school itself, but it's a lot of, the student-led.
Are we the ones that are supposed to inform everybody? Damn.
But
Okay.
there should be the information
Drop
out
We
there.
report the news. They can't even give us a good calendar to give people.
Okay.
True.
Okay.
You know I'm true about that. You know I'm right about this.
You know I'm true.
Shots.
You know I'm true.
You know I'm speaking the truth. They cannot get an
So-
event calendar together to save their lives.
So we know that there is clear disconnect and an issue. What are the solutions? How can they better improve their communication to the university, and how can we as students be a part of that solution?
There should be a description out there somewhere of what all, I guess, like our current president has done in the past, and I guess, like, I don't know.
They could do a blog post.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the school just doesn't have a very good unified method of communicating with the students, or even the teachers for that matter.
We need a new email system.
We need a new email system, and we need a way to talk.
And
Like,
we need to stop relying on email to communicate
That
stuff to
too.
the students. Because nobody uses that. Nobody does. Sorry.
no one's able to.
And the
I
hard
do,
thing about
but-
the email is that once your inbox gets full, you don't get any new mail and you can't send any out. So you're going to miss it, especially if you're a student who has not checked your email at all.
It's like if they put notes in your locker in high school and you're the student who never needed to use a locker because you knew how to balance books.
That was
And then you have to
That's
clean
me.
out your locker at the end of the year and all this stuff just flies out. You're like,
You're like, oh my god, someone was missing the entire year. I had no idea. Like,
But don't we have a story on how to check?
we do. There is, in fact, many different methods that you can use to check your Hawking email. And I am supposed to say Hawking because apparently the first couple episodes I did not use those words properly. Yeah, no, you need to check your freaking email, kids. But also, school, if you're listening, you need to get better at this. God, we need to update. Look at the other universities and how well they're succeeding. What, UHCL has 2 billboards for bringing in students. It has an email system from 2006, and the buildings are just now getting fixed so they don't flood during light rain. There are still parts of the ceiling in the Bayou building that leak.
And in the Arbor building, there are a lot of parts. The roof is supposedly getting fixed. It was supposed to get fixed in February, then March.
Yeah.
Then there's classes, and then they don't want to do it during the summer because it's going to be hot and they have to turn the air conditioning. So in the next 6 months, it might get fixed. But actively, there's water dripping in the equipment checkout room for HSH.
Nice.
So,
Who
get on
knows?
that, guys. I'm in the Arbor building pretty much every day.
Also, the
There's a lot of
Arbor
art
building,
students, and it leaks in the halls, it leaks
So-
in the classrooms.
The Arbor building is also where we put professors that we hire because we don't have enough desks and offices for them.
Yeah, there's a bunch of offices in there.
UHCL is in a bit of a cocoon stage right now. And I'm really hoping that by the end of this metamorphic project, it comes out a beautiful screaming hawk or whatever it is that we are.
Screaming hawk.
But
Yeah, the new buildings are supposed to have more rooms for.
no, the new buildings look great. The buildings we already have are still falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And God, we haven't even been able to update our Wi-Fi routers in what? More than a few years? Like, we've got a lot to work on. And also, I'm sitting in a room in the student services building with paint literally chipped off the walls. So, you know,
that's weird.
it's kind of hard to say that this
It's
is...
more of a students.
So gross.
Why are our students doing stuff on the walls? You know, it's we
Yeah, how
need
does
to
that
ourselves
happen?
take care of our house.
Yes,
we
the
need to clean up after
students...
ourselves and not be
The
slow.
The students need to do a bit more, but when it comes to random leaks and holes in our buildings,
What are students supposed to do?
I'm not required to fix the roof. I pay tuition so that hopefully the roof gets fixed.
Yeah.
There's that.
So
On that note, I have to slip off and go back to the leaky equipment checkout room to get cameras back that nobody's bringing back. So if you're listening, please bring your camera back.
Bring your
So I
cameras
don't-
back, people.
Don't be afraid of a little drip.
Keep the
Just
cameras.
show.
Keep the cameras. Save the cameras, keep the cameras.
You won't melt.
That sounds like
They'll be
something
ruined.
for a completely different topic. So, in closing, this is our final podcast of the
What?
spring semester.
It's over.
Wait,
Don't get too shocked. This
did we
is-
really spend an entire hour just complaining about the school in our country?
But hopefully, this will lead to improvements for both our country and the UHCL
Can you
community.
imagine if Donald Trump listened to this?
He might.
Like if this would, like if he got into podcasts and he was like,
I'm sure we can
signal
just
sound
tweet them.
wait, do the
And they'll listen to
the
you.
voice, but
They'll
say like signal sound bites. It's
Yes.
really awesome. Yeah, Mr. President,
No,
what do you think
we're
of
gonna,
podcasts?
you can't do it yet. We can't do it yet.
What are your thoughts on
We can't do it yet. It's gonna be in the later episode. I don't have time to
Keep
do it good
saying
today. I don't have time to do it today. Trey was sick last time.
But maybe tease it a little. Like,
Just a
say
little.
Alright, well, you know what, people? I'm gonna tell you this. Next time, there's gonna be a special guest here. He's gonna be great. It's gonna be huge. And you better tune in. Or you're gonna be banned like Trey here, my friend.
No,
Steve Bannon's bringing in the executive order.
no,
And I'm gonna sign it, Trey.
no, no. I still have to have things I can't be banned, but no.
Alright, and on that note, guys, this has been Signal Soundbytes. We'll be back in the summer, early summer, with our next episode. And yeah, stay on the lookout for that. So, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. We love you.
Ew.
I hope that's in there.